Oh, these things here, don't buy them. They're garbage. Mine worked for 1 day and then it died. So I had to, use a different method. This is garbage. Garbage. Good day. Today we're going to do what we said. We're going to go through a little Python and be able to play with our Raspberry Pi using the board that we created in Fritzing, and we'll do a little trial and error on this one. So here we go. Alrighty, so we've got our workspace all set up here on our Raspberry Pi. As you can see, I do have a bit of a light in the background here. That is because I've actually got the Raspberry Pi set up over there. Just so you can have a quick look, I will go to that one there. So we have the board set up all over there. I'm attempting a new setup so that way I don't have to be making too much of a clutter in front of me here. So let's go back to this guy here. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to program that LED to do a few things. We're basically going to start out with just a basic Python program to flash an LED. So I'm just going to maximize that guy here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start with some of the basics. I'm going to get rid of my face here, and we're just going to go import our pi.gpio as GPIO. So basically what we're telling is Python that we're going to be using a library, and the library that we're going to be using is the Raspberry Pi's GPIO library. So we're just going to name that as GPIO. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to import the time. So importing the time library is great because we're able to use it later on so that we're able to pause the program. And the next thing we're going to do is gpio.setMode, and we're going to do gpio.bcm. So what we're going to be using on this one is the gpio.setMode, and this is going to be the gpio.bcm, which is the Broadcom SOC channel. So now all we're going to do is we're just going to go gpio.setWarnings, and we're going to set this to false. And I hope this one's basically pretty self-explanatory. This is basically saying if there's an error, basically to kind of ignore it. So that way things should run a little bit easier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tell GPIO what pin we want to have the output on. So for that, we're just going to go gpio.setup, and we're going to select pin 18, and we're going to call that gpio.out, then brackets there, and then we're going to tell it to print LED on. And then we're going to put it to sleep for a moment, time.sleep, and we'll set that to 1 second. And then we're going to tell it to print LED off. Just like that. So then we're going to tell it to go gpio.output, and once again that's that pin 18 that we're using, and we're going to set it to gpio.low. So I did notice one thing here. So I've got my GPIO output set to pin 18, and then we turn the LED on, but I forgot to tell it what to do with that pin. So I'm going to have to create another line here, because we want, when it turns on, the GPIO dot output 18, and we're going to set this to GPIO dot high. So now we've told it which pin we're going to output on, and then when it prints LED on, it's going to set the output to high, being turning it on, and then it's going to sleep for a second. So basically it's going to hold that for a second, and then it'll print LED off, which then will turn the pin back off. So basically all we need to do now is go ahead and run our code here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on the run button here, and then it will tell me I need to save it. So I will save it. So I've saved it now, and then I'm just going to go and run it. I'm going to show you this quickly here. Let's go to this guy here. So I want you to see here, this is how easy it is to mess up. So on the false here, I actually forgot to capitalize it. So basically all I have to do is add that as a capital, and now it should run without an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the other scene here. Nope, we don't want that one. We want this guy here. So if you haven't hit that like button, make sure to do so now. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Lots more Raspberry Pi stuff coming up really soon. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. And then I'm going to go ahead and run that guy. And now there we go. We have the LED just doing one little flash there. So at least now we know that it works. So I'll show you here. This is basically what it did. It just did LED on and then LED off and turned off the LED. This is probably the most simplest little program that you can write. So basically what I've done is, in the description below here, what you're going to find is a link to my GitHub page. Now I've added a ton of, well, not a ton, a handful of examples that you can use with an LED. Just one LED, and different things you can do to learn more about Python. You don't need a ton of devices and things hooked up to it to try to make lots happen. Just one LED, a resistor, and a breadboard or something to connect it to your Raspberry Pi, and you're good to go. You can start trying different things, looking at the code, and being able to start to learn how to program with Python. Now, there is a lot that you're going to come across where people's programs are not working correctly. Now, I've seen this exact program written before, and it was written differently, and it was written in Python, but for a different version. Before, you didn't have to have these brackets here, right here. So right here, I removed them off of this one right here, but you did not have to have that bracket there. So this would definitely not be runnable in this scenario if we removed them. So if I removed it right now, and we'll remove this one too, and then we'll just click stop, and then we'll run, and we should get an error. And then here we go. Did you mean to print blah blah? Yes, we did. So with Python, things do change, but not that much. So it's pretty easy to just add a little bit of different things to your routine once you start to get them down. And taking old code and then trying to reconstruct it so it now works for you versus not working at all is quite fun, and I recommend it because then you can see how everything's written out and try to fix it like a puzzle. So you can have a lot of fun doing that, which is to me a lot of fun, taking a lot of old code and making it workable again. So this was the first of the few programs that I was playing around with. So like I said, there's a lot more examples on my GitHub page in the description. I'll have it on my channel page as well. They're up in the corner there, so you'll be able to get to it from there as well. One thing I just wanted to do throughout this process was make it so that, yes, you can learn how to program with Python, but be able to make a project out of it as well with the minimalist amount of stuff possible. Now, we could have used a multicolored LED in this project. We could have had a motion sensor, all sorts of things that could have done a lot more. But with this one here, having just an LED, there is a lot more room to have to think about what you can do with just that one LED. So I hope you check out my other projects on my GitHub page. If you have any questions, send me an email, let me know, or post in the comments below here, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So I think I gave enough examples of what I thought the Python code is there for you. So once again, I'm not an expert in any of this, so definitely look around, try a bunch of examples, do some watch as many videos as you can. Start with the simplest programs, and then you'll get to feel more and more confident of what you're building and what you're programming. So make sure to do just that. Look at a lot of code. Get interested in it. It's a lot of fun once you get down everything that's going on, and you're going to have a great time with it, because then you're going to start making things happen, and that's always fun. Thank you for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?